Hello and welcome to another 5-minute feature. My name is Michael and I'm the social media manager at Kenmore Camera. And speaking of cameras, we have a new camera to share with you today. So before I do though, a little backstory, a little context. So we live in this awesome time where our technology is pretty spectacular, especially with cameras. We've matured quite a bit and all these features are readily available. There's all this amazing technology. We have 120 frames per second capable still photo cameras. We have 8K video cameras. We have 40 and 60 megapixel cameras. We have all this amazing technology. So what happens when you kind of reach the end of being able to add a new spec, add a new specification as your differentiator, your thing that makes you different? Well, what happens then is you have to rethink things potentially, or one way to do that is to rethink things. So you might end up with a camera like the one we're going to talk about today, which is the Fujifilm X. This little guy. It's different. It pretty much throws out the spec sheet. Let me tell you a little bit about what it is and encourage you before I do that to do something. And that is to come into the store and take a look at it. It is so different, you really have to put your hands on it. You have to see how it's different, understand that it is unique. So let's talk a little bit about what this camera I think is designed to do. What it's designed to do is to be a camera for people who grew up a lot with phones in their life. So they always have a camera with them, but they also have a pocket full of distractions. So what this is designed to do is to blend point and shoot film cameras from the 90s and early 2000s with digital convenience. So it takes the fun, the nostalgia of film cameras and then makes it digital. So what is the X all about? Well, let's take a look at that. The half part, you'll notice the screen is different. It is a vertical half frame screen. So that's a 1-inch sensor, which is smaller than most other Fujifilm cameras, and it is vertically oriented. So it takes a photo that's basically going to be friendly for your phone in vertical mode. Also in this camera, you'll notice there are no really buttons and settings and knobs and dials on here. There are a couple. There's a mode switch from photo to video, and that's about it. Everything else is done through the touchscreen. So speaking of the touchscreen, you have two touchscreens on the back here. This one on the right, the left, is for film simulation. So again, leaning back into film cameras. So Fujifilm makes film, and they have the science to simulate those different film stocks in this camera. So you can get different film looks right in your photos. Also, you have the option to change this to a filter so you can have a whole bunch of different effects and different looks in your photos without even resorting to an app. Basically, this is like an app built into this. So for the film simulations, there's 13 film simulations built in, and there's 26 filters or options on different settings for filters built into the camera. So lots of different things you can do with your photos. The lens on here is equivalent to about a 32 millimeter in full frame equivalent lens, and it's got an aperture maximum of f2.8, so a fair bit of light. You'll see there's a dial on the top of the camera that is exposure compensation. So if you're in one of the manual modes, you can make your photo a little brighter or a little darker. There's also the on-off switch there, and something that is a little different in a digital camera. That looks like a film winder, again, from film camera days. That has a couple fun functions. One, if you use it when you're in digital mode, it will take a second photo and then combine them together with your first photo you took before you advanced the lever. And then also, this camera has a film mode. What that does is it transforms this camera into a simulated film camera. So this back screen in that film mode turns into looking like a 1990s, early 2000s era point and shoot film camera back. So you don't get to see the photos. So you advance to the next photo when you're in that mode, and then you make another photo and advance. So it's a neat experience. It's kind of fun and playful. This camera also has a dedicated app for your phone, so you can get the photos right to your phone. Also, it allows you to print directly to Instax film cameras, so you can make a photo and then have a paper copy of it, a printed copy right from an Instax camera right after you make the photo. So again, you get this interesting intersection of film experience with digital convenience. So that's what this camera is really all about, is trying to combine the two worlds of the fun of film, the desire to get back to that fun experience of making photos, that focused experience of making photos, and then combining it with the convenience of having a digital camera. So this camera comes in 3 colors. It comes in the black, which I have here. It comes in a charcoal silver, which is a dark gray, and then it comes in a silver. So again, my suggestion with this camera, come into the store and take a look. That's the best way to find out if this is something that might be a fun and good fit for you and your photography. So that's it for today's 5-minute feature. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions about this camera, please leave a comment below and I'll be glad to answer that. If you'd like to order this camera online, in the description below, I will also leave links to purchase from Kenmore Camera. So until I see you in the next video, I will say bye for now.